All the hype surrounding Baker and Lamar this offseason, but only one has delivered so far. Jackson is top 5 in yards per attempt and touchdowns, while Baker sits near the bottom of the league right now in interceptions and passer rating. So look, Cleveland's offense, number 24 right now in the league. They haven't been able to find a real rhythm yet. Do you think that they'll find it soon?
I tell you one thing, they got to continue to help out this offensive line. You can have all the weapons you want on the outside, but without the engine of your team, which is the offensive line, and the battery of your team is the secondary D-Hall, but without the engine of your team, okay, this offense can't roll. And so you have to continue to do things to help that offensive line out, like getting the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands. And, of course, guys, I have some tape to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I need a new picture. I got hair now. All right? Check this out. Whenever Baker Mayfield gets the ball out quickly, like in this RPO right here, it's an explosive play. With RPOs and play action, what it does to a defense, it makes the defense freeze. As you can see, the outside linebacker in this one kind of freeze because he knows what's happening. He knows that they're trying to move the will linebacker so that they can have the throwing lane behind him. But whenever Baker has to hold on to the ball longer than 2.5 seconds, look, he could have threw this ball right here, but it's like he's trying to wait until something becomes wide open. They were playing trap right there, but he should have threw it earlier. But whenever he throws it late after 2.5 seconds, bad plays seem to happen. They need to continue to game plan around that. Do more RPOs, run the ball with a little bit more of authority, but definitely get the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands as quick as possible because this offensive line cannot hold up for 7-step.
He's been sacked 11 times. He's thrown an interception in every single game this year. He's only thrown 3 touchdowns. Yeah, that offensive line really needs to help out, but he also needs to sometimes throw the ball away, get the ball out a little quicker.
It's a little mix of everything right now. I've got this game tomorrow, so I spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people, both in the Browns building and people outside the Browns building who are seeing it from afar, kind of like you are, Mike Rob. And what they tried to do last week against the Rams was, because they had both their starting corners down, they tried to slow the game down. They didn't want to get involved in a shootout. So it was a lot of running the ball, a lot of short, quick stuff that seemed to work. But they do have concepts in their playbook that are similar to what Bruce Arians had in Arizona, because Freddie Kitchens was there to push it down the field. And those things are just not able to develop right now. So,
but if the offensive line isn't holding up, I mean, some of these
which is why they need to address it.
7-step drops, you know what I mean? Like real deep drops and having to hold on to the ball for 2 hitches. That's a long time to be holding on to a defensive lineman.
No question about it.
When you look at this matchup, well, I mean, what sticks out to you?
I mean, it's Lamar Jackson. To me, it's Lamar Jackson, and can he continue to operate at a high level? And a lot of the things that Baltimore has been doing is off that run game. You know, you even think about, them being down last week against Kansas City. What do coming out of halftime? They're down 23, I think, to 6. They come out and they run the ball every play of that drive to say, hey, look, we're down, but we're still sticking with the game plan because they know everything, for Lamar to be successful, everything they do has to come off of running the football. You saw with Baker Mayfield in that earlier clip. That's what Cleveland got away from. They got away from some of those RPOs and getting it out of his hands fast. Baltimore's been firm in their identity of, look, this is what we're going to do. Even to be down, most coaches, they throwing the ball all over the yard at that point. For them to run the ball every play coming out of halftime down 2 touchdowns, showed you they're committed to their plan.
Yeah.
The best running teams in this league are ignorant about running the football. You'd be down by 2 and 3 touchdowns. And you know what? We're going 2 tight ends.
Seattle last year, man.
We're going to run the ball right down your throat.
But with Cleveland, they worked best when things were sort of running through Nick Chubb. And then it didn't put so much pressure on Baker Mayfield. And now we're just not seeing, with all of the talent on this roster, they should be more productive.
And that's exactly what it is, Colleen. It's pressure. Pressure is something that you can never really measure it, but it's always there. And for a guy like Baker to have everybody in his ear telling him how great this offense should be, right? And everybody's like, look, we got OBJ. That comes with extra set of eyes. So now Cleveland isn't Cleveland. Cleveland's New York Cleveland, right? It's more media in there than probably you normally get in New York because of the stars. And so I know what pressure feels like being on that corner, right? You always feel like it's me against him, and I have to make this play for us to win. And so as a quarterback, I know that's magnified. Help, Mike, you played quarterback. That it has to be magnified. And so I don't know if Baker's handling it very well right now.
The longer it goes, what happens to the pressure? It goes up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now they just feel like, let's just survive this early part, get it going, and we will find our stride eventually. We'll see, Mike.
Yeah,
see.
and you know Freddie Kitchens is probably feeling that pressure too after last week. If this comes down to a close game,
Wow, look at
we'll
this.
see what happens.
Look at this.
Yeah, so we asked you guys, who would you rather build your franchise around? 64%.
A year ago, that would have been totally different. A year ago, that would have been totally different. Get off Lamar Jackson's bandwagon, guys. Come on, man.
I picked him for my MVP now. They looked at me like
That bandwagon.
Yes, he did.
What a difference a year makes. Oh my gosh. Hey, if you want to join in the poll, just get up there on Twitter and get your vote in now. And by the way, tomorrow's a special day for one of our colleagues. Brian Billick will be inducted into the Ravens Ring of Honor during a halftime ceremony. Billick led Baltimore to title back in Super Bowl 35. In all, he coached 9 seasons, piled up 80 wins, plus 5 more in the postseason. So, Coach, congrats. Well-deserved and earned.
Had a baby.
Yeah, Coach Billick, I love it, brother.
That's
I love
awesome.
it.
All right, it's time for some names and numbers. We're going to go through some big names and tell you who will have the bigger numbers this weekend. And D-Hall, let's stick with the Browns and the Ravens.
All right.
More receiving yards, Odell Beckham Jr. or Marquise Brown.
OBJ, don't get mad at me, young fella. I love you, bro. You know I love you. But I'm going with Marquise Brown. And it's simply because everyone in that stadium is going to be trying to stop OBJ. That's what happens when you're a great player. Everyone tries to elevate their game, and coaches put game plans around stopping you. Hollywood Brown is an exceptional player right now, but still, they have to stop that run game and Lamar Jackson getting outside. I think he'll get his one-on-one matchup just because they'll bring guys into the box, and I think Hollywood can take the top off.